if you feel like we're wading too much into the legal niceties here, I'll bring it back to brass tacks. Did you see The Wire? Do you know that scene in The Wire where Idris Elba's character says, "Are you taking notes on a criminal conspiracy? What are you thinking?" Remember that scene? Classic scene, right?
Is you taking notes on a criminal conspiracy? What you thinking, man?
That's how it worked on The Wire. Here's how prosecutors say it worked at the Trump Organization. Pretty parallel. Quote, beginning in 2005 and as part of the scheme to defraud, Weisselberg signed rental checks drawn on the Trump Corporation's bank account. The checks were sent to the managing agent for the apartment building on Riverside Boulevard, where Weisselberg and his wife lived. Similarly, Weisselberg and others directed the Trump Corporation to issue checks to pay for Weisselberg's utility bills for the Riverside Boulevard apartment, including payments for electricity, phone services, internet, cable television service. During this period of time, the Trump Corporation also paid for Weisselberg's monthly garage expenses. At all relevant times, the payments of Weisselberg's rent, utilities, and garage expenses constituted employee compensation, constituted taxable income to Weisselberg. But these payments were not booked in the Trump Corporation's general ledger as employee compensation. That said, quote, for certain years, the Trump Organization maintained internal spreadsheets that tracked the amounts it paid for Weisselberg's rent, utility, and garage expenses. The indirect compensation to Weisselberg was not included on Weisselberg's W-2 forms or otherwise reported to tax authorities. So he's effectively getting paid, actually like deducted from his salary what they paid him in rent, utilities, and his garage expenses and all this stuff. It was definitely part of his compensation. They didn't report it to tax authorities, and they didn't list it in the company's books, but they did apparently describe it to the penny in an internal spreadsheet that tracked every cent of it. Is you taking notes on a criminal bleeping conspiracy? What are you thinking? They kept internal written records of the stuff they were otherwise very carefully keeping off the books. Really? And prosecutors apparently now have that. Audacious and sweeping. That's how the prosecutor described it.